Hey, this is the Mighty OB'a once again here on clbTV and 1080 AM WUFO with our weekly sports update. As the NFL season is coming down to the wire, we are seeing teams starting to emerge with some very important games. One of the better things that Roger Goodell has done throughout this year was change the schedule to make the division games at the end of the year, making these games critical to see who goes into the playoffs. Well, our Buffalo Bills, as you well know, are out of it. But we're seeing some other teams emerge in the league that could make a push to the playoffs. Will the San Francisco 49ers make a final push? Will the San Diego Chargers make their final push? All of this is going to be depending on these last division games of the year, whereas the last game of the year is going to play a huge role in determining who goes to the playoffs. And as you know, that's where the big money is made with teams that go to the playoffs. Also, we want to talk a little bit about the NBA. We are talking great basketball here. 7 games in a row for the Miami Heat. 7 games in a row by my New York Knicks. We're talking good stuff. The NBA is having one of their best and most competitive years. One of the key things in the NBA that they've done this year as a league is get the major cities back to being competitive. You're seeing New York competitive. You're seeing Boston competitive. You're seeing Miami competitive. You're seeing Chicago competitive. You're seeing LA competitive and Dallas competitive and also Houston. This is key for the NBA being a viable league around the world, and we're seeing it once again. We're seeing some great basketball, and this is getting towards Christmas. Usually the NBA doesn't take full effect over the world until after the Super Bowl, but because of the LeBron James controversy, we're seeing some great things and a lot of attention on the NBA. Some great players, Kevin Durant in Oklahoma City. We've got great players around this league. This is a great year for the NBA. Want to congratulate Mike Tyson on being nominated to the Boxing Hall of Fame. Much deserved. A lot of the bad things that have happened to this guy, you cannot take away from him that he was one of the most dominant fighters of his day, and he had a dominant run for 4 to 5 years where he was the baddest man on the planet until he lost that fight to Buster Douglas, and when he was basically convicted of the rape charge against Desiree Washington in Indianapolis. That's when his life started really tumbling, along with his failed marriage to Robin Givens and being surrounded by some very bad people that took a lot of money from him. But one thing you can't take away, Mike Tyson was a great fighter, and he will be inducted into the Boxing Hall of Fame. We're also getting down to the finalists for the NFL Hall of Fame. All of you out there, you need to vote for Andre Reed to go in the Hall of Fame. Andre Reed should have been in the Hall of Fame on the first ballot. This is one of the injustices that has been done to one of the greatest players in NFL history. Andre Reed must go to the Hall of Fame in 2011 to right this wrong. This is a great player, and I expect to see him in Dallas when they announce that he has been nominated for induction into the NFL Hall of Fame. That's our weekly sports update. I am the Mighty OB'a.